All right, let's focus on the delegates at the 29th COP29 Summit under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change that have finalized an agreement setting an annual climate finance target of $300 billion by 2035. This to aid developing countries in addressing the impacts of climate change. The deal, which was reached after intense negotiations in Azerbaijan's capital, places a responsibility for funding primarily on wealthier nations. The new financial goal will succeed the previous commitment of $100 billion annually, which was initially pledged for 2020 but was only fulfilled in 2022 and is set to expire in 2025. While the European Union described the agreement as ushering in a quote-unquote new era of climate finance, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres expressed his dissatisfaction on the deal, remarking that the outcome fell short of his expectations for a more ambitious deal. The decision drew sharp criticism from developing and vulnerable nations, including India, Nigeria and Cuba, which had advocated for a substantially higher target of $1.3 trillion. Representatives from these nations dismissed the agreed amount as insulting, citing the growing scale of climate-related damages that they face. Indian representative Chandni Raina told the COP29 conference in Baku that India opposes the adoption of this document, saying that host Azerbaijan ignored its concerns. She also added that the amount that is proposed to be mobilized is abysmally poor and a paltry sum.
That this document is nothing more than an optical illusion. This, in our opinion, will not address the enormity of the challenge we all face. Therefore, we oppose the adoption of this document. We oppose the adoption of this document. India opposes the adoption of this document, and please take note and regard of what we have just said from the floor of this room.
And to take this story further, our Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibul, has a report.
According to independent analysts, the developing world needs trillions of dollars to fight with the impact of climate change. And that is why many developing countries, including India, has slammed the financial package that has been agreed at the COP summit in Baku, Azerbaijan. Now, India follows the policy of common but differentiated responsibility. That basically means that it is the developed world that needs to do more, especially in terms of financial commitments to deal with climate change and its impact. Also, the deal that has been agreed to in Baku is quite ambiguous. Critics say that there is no clarity as per how much will be loaned, how much will be grant, and how quickly the funds can be given to the developing countries. But above all, it is very clear that it's the global south that is bearing the harder impact of climate change, especially in terms of the loss of life and destruction of infrastructure. And that is why the developing world, the global south, has come up sharply against the financial package that is agreed to in Baku, where the developed world is seen short of its commitments. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibul for WION in New Delhi.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.